that I envied the most was the ecosystem and the loyalty of the ecosystem and the partners. So when I'm standing here in front of you today, I'm really excited because we haven't had a chance to spend this kind of time together in a while. And so seeing the light bulbs go off, the excitement go off about what's happening in market, it's real. It's real, right? But it also is a little bit scary for a lot of people, right? It means building new practices. It means doing a lot of things a little bit differently. So that is hopefully what we're going to be talking about over the next 2 days on making sure that we kind of demystify things a little bit more and we help you get as excited, and you might already be as excited, but not just as excited, but motivated to go in and dig deep. All right. So let's just talk about the opportunity. I was kind of looking at these slides and I laughed and I was like, wow, I remember when we talked millions. I remember when we talked billions, trillions. Like, look at what this market is projecting. 500 billion of opportunity. That's amazing when we look at what the potential is for all of you, for our MSPs. And then you start to look at what that means really in a revenue perspective. And in 2023, 2 trillion and projected to grow 6.2% just this year alone. Huge. So I know we all want to be part of that growth. We all want to maximize that opportunity for the growth. So a lot of our smaller customers, right? They're actually sometimes the most innovative because out of necessity, they need to, right? They need to think differently. They need to think about how do I find economies to do things? And as I'm a smaller shop, I actually want to present like a very large one, right? So this innovation, I'm excited because I think what we're on the cusp of with AI and with co-pilots and all of this, it helps democratize what we're all about right now. That opportunity is really going to be made real by how you engage with all of these companies and help them learn and adopt. And quite frankly, the same thing that probably brought you here, feel comfortable with where we're going, right? Feel comfortable. So this transformation is not something that I look at enterprise or what we refer to as majors, right? We have these different categories internally. Many of you guys know enterprise or majors or corporate, but it's all the way to SMB. And it's really important. I often share that my brother runs a bike shop and my husband is a physician. So you look at both of them, they have small offices, right? And so they're right in your wheelhouse as far as what they're looking for someone to advise so they can focus on their expertise and you can come in and help them be as effective and efficient as possible. Copilot. I mean, you knew you were going to come here and you're going to hear about AI. And how many of you guys, like, honestly, everyone knew we're going to talk about Copilot quite a bit and what that means, right? So here's the reality. How many of you guys have Copilot on your phones today? Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. How many of you are actually using it? Okay, good. So for me, that's better than I thought because I've been fairly vulnerable about this. I was lucky at Microsoft because of my role and so forth that I had it early, right? And they wanted us to play with it. And it took me a while to actually get over the hump to start using it, right? And I'm like everyone, I was a little bit like fearful of like, how do I actually use it? How do I prompt it? What can I use it for? And so forth. And once I started playing with it, wow, was it magical. I am so efficient. I can wake up in the middle of the night, and I know my team laughs when I share this. I've shared it one other time. I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have a sleep issue, right? Some of you guys might understand that. But at 3 o'clock, I do my best email work. But Copilot makes me sound super smart and helps me over that hump. Or I I'm hopping between meetings, right? And I want to understand what's been said so I am relevant to the conversation versus having to kind of catch up with the conversation. I use those features all the time. These are practical little things that can make a huge difference in the way that we're there. But in particular with Copilot, this is where I want to thank you. And this is the chemistry. And Nikki, I want to refer to from our meeting that we even had, but you guys said, make it available to us. Make it available. Like, why don't we have access to this? And because of the demand, because of the energy around it, we pushed really hard, right? We pushed incredibly hard. And in January, we made that possible. And from that, we're starting to see that flywheel go, right? And once you have access to it to actually position and sell it, then you also communicated, hey, I think we need a little bit more help, right? On how do we position, what's available to us. But we learned a lesson from that as well, is that the appetite in the markets are really rich, regardless of segment. And so the good news is you're seeing Copilot security for Copilot or Copilot security is available April 1st, right? And it's in lockstep, all segments at the same time. So that came back from, and that only happened because of all of you and because of your energy and your passion around that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The other thing that you guys really iterated on is, wow, we need to make sure that the thresholds for the licenses are are approachable. Is that the right word? Approachable, right? And so we eliminated the thresholds. That was probably a surprise coming from Microsoft, right? That was, but that also came from your voices. So what I'm hoping you're hearing is that at least how we're trying to work with all of you at the Americas is to make sure it is a bi-directional conversation. We'll share, you share, we'll iterate, and together we're going to be incredibly successful. So, um, so with that, what I love as well is that it doesn't matter if you're a big company or an SMB company, right? A small company. Now everyone has the advantage of being able to use the power of the innovation that is coming and driving in the market. And everyone has a chance to be competitive and play with it. I also look at Copilot as a really approachable, easy way for people to start understanding how you can safely and powerfully use AI in your business and everyday life. A lot of people are just, you get very concerned about AI being this very big new innovation of technology. And then when you make it practical, you have these very practical usages and then small implementations that are just everyday experiences, it makes it real. It makes it easy to understand. And that's what all of you are doing on a day-to-day basis. So with all of the products, with the innovation, it's exciting because all of you are helping to make sure that we've democratized all of the technology out there. So what you're hearing from me, and genuinely, is a thank you. We do a lot of focus groups. We do a lot of discussions with you, and hopefully you're feeling this sense of being able to openly discuss with us what you need. This wouldn't have happened had people not agitated and said, hey, it would be great to bring us together and make sure that we have some innovation and we understand a framework from which to work from. What are some of the best practices? How do we get started? I'm all in, but what does that mean? How do I set up practices in my company? How do I get my sellers across the line so that they know how to position this effectively? So I'm really thankful for that transparent feedback that you've been giving us and guiding us, and you'll see more and more of that linkage between your voices and what we deliver on an ongoing basis. So I just want to do a plug for April 17th is our next set of focus group discussions. If you haven't signed up or you're not getting that, talk to your PDMs. Let's make sure that you're engaged. But that's where the innovation, the change happens. We all have finite resources. You might look at Microsoft and not think that they have finite resources, but I want to make sure that our resources are working to help you, not what we think will help you, right? And that's what comes through some of those focus groups. So I think we have a real opportunity for a lot of success together. So let's talk about what that looks like. Oftentimes, we at Microsoft are in a wonderful position to have this great technology. But the technology is nothing without the end customer actually utilizing it and finding the excitement on that. And that's what you guys are all doing. And that's how we are successful together. We want to make sure that in all of these emerging areas and all across the business, whether it's on modern work and M365 or whether it's in security, that you guys are well poised to have those discussions, to make sure there is customer confidence in those discussions and the usage, and that we're there to make sure that you're supported as you go through the building of your business around this area. So one of the things is that I've been talking about the excitement. I've been talking about the market opportunity. I've been a little bit candid about even my transition to usage. But really what you're here today is, and why the team's here today, is to help all of you with a framework. So with that, we are absolutely committed to your growth, but I'm going to invite Harp up to join me here. Harp, thank you. Great. Harp is amazing, and he is your fearless leader trying to help. So Harp, you and I both have the opportunity to talk to a lot of customers and partners and so forth. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about this framework that we're trying to do.
We are both framework people.
Oh, yes, I am a framework person.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, Nina.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
You hear me okay? Awesome. A room full of people. What an amazing, novel feeling. I don't know about all of you, but to Riddell's point, to Nina's point, just being together, being able to look each other in the eye, build genuine partnership is truly special. And frankly, we took it for granted. And so a genuine thank you to build upon Nina's sincere thank you to all of you for taking the time for this week together. And Nina, you asked a question around how we at Microsoft are here to support MSPs of all sizes alongside our largest indirect provider partners to be able to go unlock the potential we have in this incredible market opportunity, but also to serve customers at scale. And so with my time with you all today, I'll touch upon three things. One, that framework, how we at Microsoft are taking your feedback to basically embed it into how we're thinking about all elements of our go-to-market model. We'll touch upon some brief customer examples that we're seeing through a multi-dimensional relationship with scale partners and MSPs bringing this to life every day. The second is really about pausing to talk about our Microsoft Cloud. There's so much that we do every day to unlock independent, unique scenarios of value. But I always find times like this, it's super valuable to take two steps back. Just like Nina did with our broader market opportunity, or you'll see throughout the course of the day, where are we at in our Microsoft Cloud and how are we unlocking the power of it? And then finally, we're going on the next platform shift together. And so with that, how do we leverage that as our joint partnership and our joint opportunity to move together? So Nina, myself, you guys okay? We've collected a lot of feedback over the years around how we position MSPs and work alongside them to address the unique challenges of SMBs of all sizes. And in many ways, in building our go-to-market model, we've thought about a variety of different places for how we think about it. And it starts with, frankly, building the right practices, the right capabilities, enabling each of you amidst times of dramatic change to be up to speed, on pace with unlocking this incredible technology to your customers. And so there's an incredible investment we're making alongside our largest indirect provider partners in the country or in the region, frankly, to be able to go and enable this for all of you. The pace is like never before, and our ability to do this in all modalities, online, digital, work groups, is really about how we unlock this as we move forward. We think about that, and then frankly, building upon that technology, aligning it towards some of the scale usage models. And your feedback has been super powerful, whether it's managing multi-tenant scenarios to drive MSP operating margins at scale, or it's our ability to consistently bring more and more into our CSP platform so we can innovate and grow together. This, frankly, has not always been the case. And that is, frankly, the platform we now sit upon as we move forward. Then lastly, we take that scale license model, the work we do to go and build practices together, and frankly, unlock that with a set of partner offers, go-to-market support, so each of you could inspire this innovation with your customers. This, in many ways, was a spaghetti slide of frankly, a variety of disconnected things that we did. And so the ability for us then to step back and work alongside the largest of partners in service with each and every one of you is how we frankly define every one of our investments at Microsoft. What do we do to enable the technology stack and innovation in all of our solution areas? What do we do to basically ensure that our scale license programs have all of the offerings for you to be able to bring that innovation to life to your customers? And then what do we do to then go to market jointly with each of you? So as we go and reason over the breadth of our go to market, this is how we think about it. And in a minute, I'll talk you through, frankly, what we're seeing and a customer example of this brought to life. At Microsoft, we have a ton of innovation, and the Microsoft Cloud, frankly, is the platform that we think through to empower it. Our mission is to empower every organization and every person on the planet to achieve more. And the Microsoft Cloud is the foundation of how we bring that to life. It is the most trusted and comprehensive cloud in the industry, and it is not only best of suite and integrated, but in each one of these categories, we've aspired to be best in breed at the same time. For someone who's been at Microsoft for 25 years, this is approaching 25 years, this has not always been the case. And as I look through every one of those scenarios, whether it's inspiring the modern work, or bringing together modern data estates to not just drive automation, but have AI reason over it, are really the key elements as we think about moving forward. Or if it's infrastructure and app innovation, the Microsoft Cloud is the foundation for how we think about inspiring the digital transformation of our age today. Over the years, bit by bit, we've figured out ways to integrate the Microsoft Cloud so it is truly best in suite. And those two things, the framework and our Microsoft Cloud. Apologies, are you guys hearing the echo, or is it just me on stage? So it's everyone's. Yeah. Two. I'll just take somebody else.
Real time. I got it.
Better? A lot better? Yeah, that wasn't fun. It was basically watching all you just painfully listen to my echo. And then myself painfully listen to my echo. I'm like, hopefully this is just me. So if it happens again, maybe someone scratch their head and make sure that I could change this out. So let's start all over. No. If you didn't catch it through the echo, in all sincerity, the first two elements of how we think about our go-to-market is a joint partnership with the broad scale of MSPs. It's the only way we unlock our innovation. Second, for the last decade, we've been hard at work about investing in, frankly, the most comprehensive and trusted cloud in the industry, and that is the Microsoft Cloud. And then lastly, the investment areas we've taken around all 6 commercial solution areas. You'd hear them time and time again, whether that's data and AI, apps and infrastructure, reimagining business processes. In a world that we live in today, cybersecurity is of the utmost importance and prominence. Inspiring the world's modern work and everything in between is really about how we bring this innovation. And the world that I grew up in didn't always have this innovation at the hands of our SMBs. You had to be the largest of enterprises. But frankly, the cloud democratizes that work and really brings it together. So let's talk about an example. And there's many, many case studies. And frankly, I think each of you will see each of your customer journeys in this process. But let's take a large-scale indirect provider and an incredibly profound security MSP. Their customers come with a standard typical set of security and regulation concerns. They want to move their on-premise data infrastructure to the cloud, and then think about how they could reason over data in a little bit more effective way. And so how do we then apply that scenario, the desire for our customer, and frankly, an ever-changing landscape of security and service in the framework? And if you go and play that through, we saw one of our largest partners. In this case, it was Ingram Micro, and one of our top security MSPs, frankly, take the entire process through, work to building their practices bit by bit, understanding which architects alongside Microsoft and Ingram architects had the ability to go scale. And then frankly, being able to bring that to life, whether it was enhancing security with more manageable compliance, improving infrastructure and performance, or adding new cost controls and platforms at scale. These are all the innovations that go through, and frankly, each of you unlock this innovation with your customers. If you go to the next slide, you'll see how we basically then embed that through the framework. How a project that inspires the most basic of on-prem migration to the cloud, in this case, the use of Azure. The thinking around data and application modernization integrated to reason over and effectively cleanse the data estate, and then underpin it with a set of security, controls, compliance. In many cases, that is an enterprise-grade solution. That is a bunch of technologists sitting in a room to go and inspire and innovate tier 1 security, tier 1 migration, and an accelerated time to value. But when we go and partner with our indirect providers and our large-scale MSPs in the market, like all of you, that is how we then bring that to life at scale. The key nuance here, team, is not about this one customer scenario, because we have thousands of them in our region. It is about the repeatability of us building this together. Bit by bit, that is the way we unlock the power of the Microsoft Cloud to customers of all sizes, be it the physician's office, the mid-sized business, and the largest of enterprises. And each of you have an incredible role. This flywheel for us is the way we scale with you. And I ask of you in these next 2 days, if there's something missing, if you need more from your largest of partners, if you feel like we could be doing better on unlocking MSP value to scale, please give us that feedback. It truly does matter, because it is a way in which we inspire our investments, our resources, and frankly, influence the company's agenda to bring innovation at scale through CSP. We're living in a really, really unique world as it pertains to AI. And so starting at Microsoft in 1999 was near the end of what was this notion of the PC and server era. It was the first platform shift in my time that I got a chance to see in front of my eyes. Each of you and many of you in the room saw that, frankly, change the way in which business was done. The immense partner opportunity that then followed was incredible. It changed the aspirations of Microsoft's origins of a PC on every desk in every home, and the modernization of the infrastructure and server estate are things that today we think as novel, but frankly at the time were inspiring and incredibly daunting. We then went into this notion of the web and internet era, The platform shift. Satya talks about the moment that you saw the Mosaic browser of re-inspiring the art of the possible. The platform shift that was among us was that of the web and internet. And frankly, all of us take that and see an incredible value of what it meant to our lives and frankly change the way in which we are today. Over the last decade, we've all went through the cloud and mobile era. A notion of, are you going to the cloud? Was the questions of the hallways that we were all in the late 2000s. Is it secure? What is the risk? How do you think about data governance? How do you think about compliance? Are you really going to let someone else manage your infrastructure? These are all very real material questions of the time. And frankly, they still are in many ways. But the region around us has traversed. Our customers, technology has paced, and you're seeing this adoption curve like no other. I always used to use a stat. So I've been on Microsoft for a little while. I started in 2010 as the SMB segment sales leader for the Canadian market. Our cloud mix was, once upon a time, Office 365, or formerly known as BPOS. I know that probably hurts many of you when I say that out loud, so my apologies for it. And it was this sort of mixing of cloud solutions that brought together. I remember sitting in a review, looking at our financials, and my leader at the time was like, Harp, you got to move the shift to the cloud. You got to inspire it. Our cloud mix was 5% to 95% on-premise, inspiring the data centers of every day with SQL and Windows Server, refreshes of the database, and everything in between. Fast forward, it's the complete opposite. It's 90-10. As we go and inspire businesses at scale, and that bit by bit is really the work of everyone in the room, inspiring customers to adopt, build agility, and frankly, digitally transform at scale. Whether that was that's empowering your employees, or redefining business processes, or driving the next wave of productivity. Those three were all incredible platform shifts. And frankly, until we pause and step back, we are literally in the middle of one right now. It is the platform shift of generative AI, and it is happening around us. And frankly, we're in the very, very early innings of this journey. Think about it and our role in it, obviously starting with the Microsoft Cloud. And as Judson or Satya would say, each room of the house, each individual we'll talk to, each cloud solution area is going through an AI renovation. So what can we do in this scenario to inspire the art of the possible? And it is manifesting inside the Microsoft hallways in three ways today. One is how we work to unlock your productivity and your business with the use of copilots. Everyone, I believe, in the room either knows or is excited about Microsoft 365 for Copilot. I see the numbers every day, and frankly, that is a little bit of a rocket ship of inspiring the breadth of our customers at scale to leverage this productivity tool to change the game. Early days, to Nina's point, but what an incredible opportunity ahead. That Copilot will frankly manifest in every solution area at Microsoft, whether it's Sales Copilots released a couple of quarters ago, or Security Copilot coming around the bend in the 1st of April. These are all scenarios for which Microsoft will build first-party copilots over top of the cloud solution areas to reason and inspire AI and the art of the possible. We want partners to build their applications and build their own copilots at scale. And then frankly, we want to then co-innovate with businesses to scale. The partner potential in this is incredible. And that is our opportunity to take the incredible technology innovation and lead the platform shift together. So I'll leave you with this. We sit at a really unique time. And frankly, I know myself in the day-to-day, I forget it. I forget the pace of innovation because we're so mired in the day-to-day. And it's moments and events like this that hopefully, I know for me, preparing for events like this, allow me to take a step back and reflect. Wow, this is going to be an incredible time. that I'll talk to my kids about, and then thereafter. And what an incredible opportunity, one, for me to be at a company that truly, truly values this innovation, but two, and even more importantly, a company that's steeped with an ecosystem that's got a heritage of trust, a heritage of two-sided feedback, a heritage of things that we do together, we learn together, and we grow together. And that was the origins of this company in 1985, and frankly, it would be the origins of this company for my children and then and beyond. And so, just a huge, huge thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know all of your schedules are incredibly busy. I look forward to the connections with each and every one of you, and happy learning.